The hottest team in Toronto sports right now is the Raptors. Gentlemen, how are we feeling about that?
Hope they don't choke.
Yeah, there's no other team in Toronto. I haven't heard of any yet.
I'm just trying to be 1% better every day. Darko said that.
Our focus is just every game to be 1% better and every day to be 1% better than the day before.
This is Basketball Island, Hein, Hambone, West, Fab. And oh, what a difference a week makes, gentlemen, because last week around this time, it was panic. Things were rough. But over the last 3 games, a ton has changed for the Raptors. So if we're looking at that losing streak versus this current 3-game winning streak, what has changed and is it sustainable?
Well, if we can dramatically overreact one way, I think we could do it the other way because we're going to try to be fair and balanced here.
That's what we do.
The offense looks good. The
offense looks great.
Offense looks great. We'll get into some of those numbers as well. But to me, it just almost makes the first, that 4-game losing streak kind of inexcusable in terms of, the effort on the defensive end. You had this. There was a lot of mental mistakes, a lot of lethargy, it seemed at times. But now...
Wait, did you just say lethargy in terms of lethargy?
Is it lethargy?
Lethargy.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Words.
Yeah.
I think it's lethargy.
Yeah, it's lethargy.
All right, well, you guys know what I meant.
What a moment, though.
You know what I meant. But I think it's you can't keep going up and down, these lack of consistency, the waves of you're playing defense that's pretty bad.
Let me just jump in with one quick question. Do you put some of that on, it's the beginning of the season, this is a group that generally hasn't really played with each other and it maybe takes a little time to feel each other out? Or are you saying the effort wasn't there and that was a clear effort problem in that losing streak?
I don't want to blame it solely on effort, although there were times where the tape doesn't lie in that regard. I do think that...
Shout out Luke Wilson.
This team prided itself on being together since the summer, right? Jamal Shed hosted guys. They were all together at Summer League. So they wanted, and they've said this on the record, they wanted to get off to a good start. And then they didn't. And it was just the way they didn't. Whereas now, I'm happy to see that they've bounced back. They are 6th in the NBA in offensive rating in their 4-4 record. And they're 5th in 3-point shooting, almost 40%. That's something that I did not expect. So things are definitely coming together on the offensive end. And the defense is getting incrementally better. It's not where I want to see it, but the signs are there. You got lucky pouncing on some teams. Cleveland didn't have Donovan Mitchell.
Caught some injury luck.
The Memphis was out John Morant. So, big win against the Bucks. Again, 2nd game of back-to-back, but I like where they're headed. Let's keep it going.
I think the biggest jump between those 4 games versus the 3 most recent ones in this win streak, it's all on the defensive end. Everything that we've saw, and I can't quantify whether it's an effort thing. I really don't know if that's the end-all be-all.
Lethargy.
Could be lethargy. But structurally speaking, there's some data that's very polarizing between those two. And so in these last 3 games, every single game, they had their lowest turnover rate. They were generating the fewest turnovers. And you think, oh, that means bad defense, right? No. It resulted in the lowest 3 scoring outputs by their opponents, the lowest effective field goal percentage. So to me, what that tells you is they're not bailing out, going rogue for turnovers. They're staying in front of their players, keeping guys competitive on the 3-point line. And what that's resulted in is the shot quality for their opponents have been at their worst over these last 3 games. That's structural. Effort has to have been in there too, okay? But to me, there has been a clear directive. Stop bailing out and forcing our defense to go 5-on-4. Everybody keep your man in front of you. Let's stop being so frantic like we were during those 4 games. Let's be a little bit more tight and organized. And the data supports that.
It's funny. We talked about that last week and how this is what Darko was sort of preaching, that he wanted that frantic chaos. So credit to Darko for adjusting. And Fab, you called it a couple of times in those early games where unnecessary doubles that would just lead to an open look.
Yeah, I think last week I said just try to keep guys in front of you, which they're doing, and contain and contest shots, and they're doing that. And let's not bury the lead here. Scottie Barnes has been, close to an all-NBA level right now this season, looking dynamic offensively, as a screener, as a roller, finishing around the net. Defensively, wrecked the Bucks on Tuesday. And he was blocking shots. He was blocking guys at the 3-point line. I mean, he was doing everything. He was bodying Giannis. This is exactly what you want from him.
And it's a disposition thing with him. He's not doing dumb anymore. He's actually becoming a monster on both ends of the floor. He's
Yeah.
taking the right threes too.
Yeah.
Like a catch and shoots. He's not
Stepping
forcing.
into those, man.
He's not forcing it. Like considering where he was in that Dallas game to where he is now.
You were very harsh on him last week.
I wasn't a fan.
And I understand you have high expectations for him. I know you like Scottie and
Yes.
you expect more from him. But I mean, look at the way overall. I mean, we can't complain about what he's offered
He's
this
been
year.
awesome.
He's living up to the max deal.
And RJ Barrett, man.
Dude, when that block at the rim happened,
Oh.
I just wanted to see your face.
and you
I
know
wanted Hambone Cam for
Hey,
that
man,
block.
listen, man,
Give him his flowers.
We call it like it is. So we fronted him in the broadcast last night. He was the guy we talked about in the pregame and the open.
Yeah.
And it's for a reason. You look coming into this year, RJ would have been the guy that we would have chosen, maybe not Hein, but we would have chosen to be like, he would be the most replaceable in the starting lineup due to fit.
I would have said
due to
quickly on that, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Due to like fit, due to like where he kind of places amongst Scottie, Ingram, Quickly, and Pirtle. He would be the guy that, you need more of a shooter in that position. RJ Barrett's defensive effort has increased. He is now doing a lot of good things on that side of the floor. Other than he was a cog in the wheel of bad defensive decisions to start the season. He shored that up, and if he can continue to be this efficient, not driving aimlessly into in transition, like he's not turning the ball over
But he's
as much.
operating in the margins. He's doing whatever is needed given the circumstance of the team.
He's accepting lesser usage. His
Yes.
usage is down from last year, but he's slotting in perfectly. You want me to stick open threes? Fine.
Yeah.
You want me to push in transition? I'll do that. I'll drive when I need to. And the shot chart looks wonderful.
Yep.
It's threes and shots at the rim. His true shooting percentage, 65.1%.
Amazing.
That's a career high. Let's see. I said this last week. Give me 15, 20 games before I go too hard either way
course,
here,
of
right?
course.
Like, they have a road trip coming up now. That's, five
Five
of
years.
their next 6 on the road. So let's see if they can get through, I don't know, 500 at that point.
You got-
That's pretty good. But for RJ, if he can be an average defender, I think we're all like, okay. Like, he's never going to be like a plus
He's been
guy.
above average
He's been
this
okay.
year.
And that's all. Like, the effort has to be there, and just, keep your head on a swivel, man.
Look, the ask about fit with RJ was that he's not fitting the rest of the offensive weapons on that side. Well,
Exactly.
look, highest shooting frequency from 3, highest accuracy from 3.
Yep.
So you can't ask for anything more. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. The shots that he's taking from 3, they're over 60% wide open. So it's not that he's forcing it either. So everything that you would ask of him to make this fit work, he's doing. Scottie is as well. He's shooting almost 50% from 3. Same idea. Most of these are uncontested. 6 feet or more wide open. So everyone's taking the right shots. In the past, it was, can they hit them? And there's a lot of times they couldn't. Guess what? They're hitting them right now, and that makes this fit. The only time the fit doesn't work is if these shots are no longer going down. Then you say like the spacing is a problem.
One thing I'll say, it's your data matches the eye test with what we're seeing. They're playing a brand of basketball that's actually nice to watch. The ball is moving, and especially when the bench comes in, it doesn't really change too much. Jack gave a great stat last night in the broadcast. Shed 4+ dimes every game. 3rd in assists in terms of bench players. Shed has become a nice little engine to that bench unit, and we love the bench coming into this year, and they have lived up almost maybe past what we expected.
Shed has 43 total assists through 8 games.
That's
off the
unreal.
bench.
Yeah.
He gives you point of attack defense as well. He's got a spirit to the way he plays. There was a couple possessions in that last game against the Bucks where the ball swung around aimlessly, leading to a Sandro 3, which was like just that kind of 0.5 basketball that Darko's preaching. You're seeing incremental buy-in across the board. I think the bench, when they come in, it's tough, right? Because Grady's kind of been in and out. Jameson Battle comes in, bangs 6 threes against the
play.
Hawks, wins them a game, doesn't play the next game. Jacoby Walters having a tough time kind of fitting in. Abaji gets less minutes. So I
Yeah,
think
it's-
Darko's searching.
Yeah,
But don't you want that competitiveness amongst
it.
your bench and be like, hey, come show me I need to play
I think
you.
my overall point with that is no matter who comes in, the style keeps up.
Yeah.
And I think that's a credit to Darko Rajakovic. Scottie Barnes said it on the broadcast last night. It almost felt like it was the end of the world when they lost those 4 games in a row. I'm pleased to see the ship has been steadied, and you have a big game against Atlanta on Friday because that's an NBA Cup game.
Oh, if you go 2-0 in the NBA Cup,
The
are we
Raptors-
going to Vegas?
Hey, man,
are we going to Vegas?
The Raptors have not advanced
And
past
so
the
more
NBA
important than
stage.
just winning 2 games, you got to beat the teams that are projected to be in a tiebreaker with you for the group lead.
Yeah.
Cleveland was supposed to win that entire thing. So the fact that the Raptors already have that tiebreaker,
Yep.
they have a massive advantage. They get the Hawks, who are the only other team that really can compete for this group. that ticket is basically punched.
Wes, are you saying we're going to Vegas?
Oh, let's go, let's
going to
go,
Vegas?
baby. Cue up the win. Let's go one time.
And to your point there too,
Win, bro. We can't afford that.
the Hawks play the Cavs, and you expect the Cavs to be more at full strength for
what-
that
yeah.
game, and you just have to not lose to the Pacers and Wizards. But we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
A couple other points I just want to make. Sandro has been
Yep.
like a complete an embarrassingly good bargain for the
Yeah.
Raptors this year. Like
Yeah.
that's a $3 million contract. This guy's shooting 50% from three. It's hit double digits in, I don't know, 4 of the last 5 games.
Yeah.
And your point to Shed, like it's not even just the assists and pushing the tempo. I appreciate the little things he does. Of
course.
You know, jumping in, snatching a board from Miles Turner. Giannis is in transition. He uses a foul. Like, I'm not letting you dunk. Whereas,
Yep.
you know, some of the other guys in the Raptors, they probably just move out of the way. Like, let's be honest, right? So
He's the type
I
of
appreciate those gritty little things that those are the margins that win you basketball games, right?
He always makes the right decision
Yeah.
defensively. He's always in the right place. That foul is a perfect example of that.
Look, I want to just tie in it's topical news. Ja Morant, a lot of buzz about him being traded to the Raptors. You make that move. The fact that
Quickly
you
for
mentioned,
Ja, who says no?
well, you just well, watch this. You just mentioned Shed. What he brings to the table is not just his play, but it's his leadership. Ja Morant is exactly the type of guy you do not need in that locker room right now. There is a vacuum of leadership that needs to be filled in this team, and everyone's stepping in and doing it collectively. Bringing in kind of a cancerous locker room guy like Ja Morant is exactly not what he is. Let's call it what it is.
Shots fired.
Let's call it what it
Shots
is.
fired.
Let's call
Bontemps
it what
talked
it
about
is.
this too, though.
Let's call it what it is.
Bontemps was saying he's not a top 10 point guard, and then he kind of had pushback, but like the athleticism.
It's not even. I don't even care about the play. I'm talking about the leadership in the locker room. You mentioned a guy like Jamal Shed. You're trying to build winning habits.
Yeah.
That's what matters right now. All the talent, all the gameplay improvement stuff comes. You're trying to build a team identity right now. Jamal Shed is a critical part of that.
Yep.
And I think that's what he brings to the table that often gets overlooked. It's not just the numbers he puts up.
And like obviously, you know, Jakob Poeltl started the year sore back, did not look like himself early on. I think that led to a lot of the bad defense that we saw from the Raptors. And then you come in, Colin Murray-Boyles steps in, has great two-way performances. And listen, Giannis got him a couple times last game. Stood him up a little bit.
Less
drove
than
right
10
past
games.
him.
That's okay.
And that's okay, right? But to me, it's like he's given you enough that you feel comfortable if Poeltl kind of goes down or he's dealing with that back injury throughout the year. But what we saw from Poeltl last night was very encouraging. So it's like, and they play kind of similar roles. Like they can facilitate the game out of the high post, out of the elbow. They can hit cutters. I like the overall like identity of the team. Credit again goes to Darko, and I agree with your point overall about the culture kind of setting in. Now, if we're talking specifically about Ja, I mean, he's in the news. To me, if you're trading for someone like Ja, it reeks of desperation a little bit. Like, listen, the games he plays, you're a winning team. So there is talent there. It's undeniable.
But you want to talk bad fit? What the hell does the fit look like?
The
if you add
shooting
him
would
to
be
that?
the shooting would be super questionable.
To your point though, and we've kind of seen this as a trend in the league. You need to kind of go 10 deep now. And with all of the games guys are missing, to have such depth and you can kind of plug guys in, like you lose Poeltl for a few games and CMB can come into the starting lineup and be fine. Those are things that will really help you as we grind through 82 games
And
of the
let's
season.
knock on wood, health has been good. Like Brandon Ingram's never played over 65 games since his rookie year.
Even Scottie against the Bucks.
Yeah. Oh, dude, when that thumb injury, I'm like, oh, great.
It looked like that looked like a 4 to 6 week injury,
exactly.
right?
Don't
He
say
ran,
that.
ran to the back. Thankfully, he was good and he came back. Hopefully, there's no lingering.
The way he reacted, I'm like, oh, there's a month.
Well, then the third quarter, he's reaching in for steals.
Well, he has to play aggressive, but just lining up the next 6 games. So at Atlanta, at Philly, at Brooklyn, Cleveland, Indy. So we'll see. This is a good test. It's a 5-game road
So you're
trip,
basically
right?
saying a week from now they're going to be coming off of 4 and 5 losses, and we're going to be like, this team stinks.
Well, this
Overreact
is
again.
why I don't want to get too high or low because I just need to see more games. Like I can't, last week the sky was falling and now we're saying the opposite. So
But isn't
there has to be a little bit level-headed.
And this might be a good segue to when we do For Real Fugazi. Isn't this kind of a microcosm of the East? When you look around and it's hard to really know who's good and who's bad.
Yeah, there's still a lot to sort out. I think it's just too early to really stamp anything as like definitive 82 games extrapolated. Like, for example, the main stat that I want to present, like over those 4 losses, Cleaning the Glass had Toronto allowing 126 points per possession in transition, which is like bottom 5, okay?
Man.
these last 3 wins, they're at 105 points per possession. That's like night and day.
That's
You're
effort.
literally going from bottom 5 to top 5
That's
in the
effort.
same stat category.
That's effort.
So that's effort. And I think there's a lot of structural things that the coaching staff has clearly said, okay, this has to change.
Less crashing on the
So-
glass. Yeah.
Is that going to sustain, right? And this is what you're talking about, big sample size. Yeah, it's been 8 games. I don't know which version of the Raptors you're going to see, but you're seeing, Jekyll and Hyde, and you're seeing which one clearly is leading to winning, and you hope that carries over.
Fab touched on it. It's the craziness of the decisions. Like, I understand Darko gives them the green light to time their aggressiveness on defense, to double. It's just, you need to do it at the right time. It's an IQ thing, it's an effort thing. And if he's said, all right, guys, we're gonna rein it in a little bit, and then we'll slowly start adding to our identity. Like, it just tone that down, play more solid, and I think they'll be in more games because the offense is doing so well for them.
Well,
it's carrying them.
Let's wrap wraps up on this one then.
Wrap.
One, like, we're looking at the win total, you looking at the playoff odds.
Nope.
Do you based off of what we've seen, it's once again very, very small sample size.
Yeah.
Is this a playoff team? I'll put it this way, is this a top 6 team in the Eastern Conference? Because if they play like they did last night, I think this is a top 6 team.
I think they can knock on the door, but I would still say they're a play-in. I think they're like a 7 through 10. If I had to guess right now, I would say that. But they've shown signs of potentially getting to a top 6 in an East that is pretty open.
Wide open.
The Bulls are in first, so
Fugazi.
Way to step on the next segment.
But I mean, to answer that question is like, some of the teams that we assumed coming into the season that were going to be mainstays in the top 6. I remember somebody saying the Hawks are a lock, top 4.
Yeah.
They are literally one of the teams at threat of falling back into the play-in. And then you have these other teams that are also sliding in, that are playing well above water right now. So what that tells you is nothing is for certain right now. Way too early to project something like that forward. The Raps are in striking distance. That's good. And let's see how it plays out.
Are there any bets you're looking at with them?
No, I think right now it's a stand. Sometimes we always joke about like, buy low opportunity if they lose the first 6 games, and you take the number when it's dropped down, or vice versa. They're literally right where they're supposed to be. So you can't do anything right now. It's kind of a standstill.
If you're going game by game, I mean, we've been hitting a lot of Scottie Barnes threes in our same game parlays for broadcast.
Has to feel nice when, like, just to start the game yesterday hits one. It's like,
it just gets it over with, right? So it's just
free money. Thanks, Wes and
And he's
Fab.
taking the right threes too, so that's something we're obviously looking at closer. And then, man, like, if you're riding the current wave of RJ Barrett points per game, like the guy if his efficiency keeps up, he's finding his spots. But in terms of Raptors, I'm a little sprinkle on them going to the playoffs. Why not? They got some wins that I don't think we really like. If you're looking at the schedule to start the year, like that at Cleveland,
yeah, no chance.
you got lucky.
I know.
yeah, they're
you
down
got
3
lucky.
starters.
You take the dub and you move on.
Yes.
Next game.
But that shows maturity in terms of winning games you're supposed to. And even the Memphis game looked like it was slipping for a little bit, but they answered
righted
when
the
they
ship.
needed to.
They righted the ship.
Okay, so we kind of touched on it. We're going to play a little game backed by popular demand from last year.
Everyone's been asking for
And
it.
the fans are clamoring for it. Time for real or Fugazi.
It's all a Fugazi. You know what a Fugazi is?
Oh, Fugazi. It's fake.
Yeah, Fugazi. It's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist.
And let's start at the very top of the Eastern Conference. You're already dismissing it. The Chicago Bulls.
Gotta let the resident Italian.
So here we go.
Yeah, we'll let him go.
They wins over the Pistons, Magic, Hawks, Kings, Knicks. Lost to the Knicks at home and home, and then Tuesday night's win over the Sixers, where your boy Josh Giddey with an unreal dime on that Vooch
My
buzzer
boy.
beater to win the game.
Stacey King with the call,
Oh man, Elizabeth! Connor, cue it up, because what the hell was he talking about?
It's Oubre on him. Carter sets up a screen. Giddey races to the basket, fires it out. Vucevic the shot. Main for 3. Oh my goodness, Elizabeth! I'm coming again, Elizabeth! Oh Lord!
Amazing.
And unreal comeback. They're down, what, 25?
It was a Sanford and Son reference.
Oh, that's what it was.
Way before
Okay.
our generation, but that's
Yes.
what he was talking about.
We were talking, we're
yeah.
like, is this like a Macho Man thing? Like,
we
what's
were
going on
cutting
here?
Stacey King calls in top 10s.
Yeah,
going
back in the
Anyone
day.
know how to post videos to Facebook? Yeah,
So-
he had so many lines, man. What a
So
beauty.
you guys know I'm a fan of Giddey. It seems like I know Fab mentioned Giddey MIP, but like if you look
He's
at
the front runner.
But like this came, I know it was against garbage opponents, but if you look at his splits from February of last year to end of the season, this is what he was doing. This Bulls team the pieces seem to fit, but we've seen them do this before. So Hambone, Bulls for real or Fugazi?
On your Giddey point, it's tough to give credence to silly season stats, right? Like, by that metric, the
February's
Raptors
not silly season though. Like
the Raptors are top 10 defense by that metric. Like, so it's, for me, it's just like, we saw it, you were betting them, we heard you out, we heard you loud and clear about that. But listen, the Bulls did this a few years ago as well. The Caruso Bulls, like they were
the
first,
Levine, DeMar,
and they kind of fell off a cliff.
Lonzo Ball got hurt though.
Lonzo Ball got
did
hurt,
but
and then they got in the playoffs by the Bucks in 5. So it's like, we've seen this before. Again, like it wasn't a sexy bet coming into the season. West, you had 33.5 Bulls.
Yeah.
My goodness, man. Like they always do this. At the very least, they're always getting you to 38, 39 wins around that number. I feel like we missed the boat on this, and obviously with this start, I feel like that's a lock at this juncture.
Still no Kobe White, and here's the difference to me.
Might be a good thing.
Second in the NBA in 3-point shooting at 40.2%. And are those threes sustainable?
Well, so if you're looking, you have 6 guys shooting above 40%.
Yeah,
like
probably
those
not.
are going
And
to
those are
drop.
gonna they're gonna
that is
regress to
going
the
to
mean. Yes.
that is going to drop. Their live total for wins is 41.5. So if you are a believer, that's still. Are they going to be about 500 team?
Fugazi.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we're asking this question,
Yeah.
I don't think they're going on a postseason
What is our
run.
definition of Fugazi?
But is there a shot that they crack the top 6 in this East? Yeah. I'd say there's a chance at that, but I don't think they're anything but fodder in the playoffs.
I think FanDuel nailed it with that number because, like, I don't know. I don't have a side either way on that. I kind of like the way they're playing, but like 41.5 is the perfect number.
It's peculiar that they're doing this without Kobe White.
Yeah.
I think actually Trey Jones has been a nice piece for them. Ayo Dosunmu, I've been a fan of his as well.
He's been awesome.
But yeah, he's a little couple games in and out with injury. But they just have more defensive guys. They're actually getting something from some of these fringe guys like Jalen Smith and Patrick Williams too. So it's like, okay, let's see what happens.
So,
Giddey as the engine is the only way, in my opinion, that Giddey can work. He can't be a guy that plays off ball. We saw what happened when OKC traded him. So if he's your engine and he's hitting threes at a decent rate and he's facilitating and doing this like at this level, of course they have a shot. I just don't buy it.
interesting point you mentioned with Kobe White, and we're going to get to it with the Pistons. That might be a situation, and you probably can't because of what he makes. Be a 6 man and just kind of be your offensive spark plug off the bench, but they
disagree.
probably don't.
Politics,
do
baby.
That.
Politics.
Yeah. West,
Salary.
Bulls for real Fugazi.
I mean, again, definition of what Fugazi is. I think if you're asking to be a top 4 home seed team, no, that's Fugazi.
Yeah.
But I think they're play-in minimum. They're definitely there by now. Yeah. What's Fugazi to me is like this top-ranked defense that they have. Mm-hmm. Who's their defense? Like outside Okoro, who is their defensive
You're not
stopper?
feeling that Vooch D?
There you go. Yeah,
Buzelis, bro.
Bucci Mane. Buzelis, he's got a lot of pop. He racks up blocks.
Yeah.
He comes out of nowhere, sometimes does that, but I don't think he in himself is enough to sustain this top-ranked defense. That to me seems Fugazi. They can prove me wrong. I believe in the offense. I'll give them that. But on the defensive end, that's what you need to sustain. I just don't think they have that. I could be wrong.
Okay, now to me, the most confusing team in the Eastern Conference, who the Bulls beat last night, Philadelphia 76ers. Wins over Boston, Charlotte, Orlando. The Wizards in OT lose to Boston, beat Brooklyn, lose to Chicago last night, blowing that big lead. I have no idea what to think when I watch this team. Embiid looks washed.
Yeah.
Edgecombe looks like the rookie of the year. The Maxey numbers make no sense whatsoever.
This is the Philadelphia 76ers experience. It's all wrapped into one. Maxey is leading the league in scoring.
It's like 35, just under 35 a game.
I will point. Okay, now I don't know if they're for real or for Fugazi. I'm gonna say, you know what, they're for real. They're a top 6 team. They're gonna, I think even with a wash looking Embiid, I think Edgecombe has looked dynamic. Mm-hmm. Maxey's taking another leap, but I do worry about Maxey playing 42 minutes a night. We all know who their coach is. Nicky Nurse, man. Watch out, because he's going to grind Maxey into a pulp, okay? We've seen this happen with Toronto players. Nick, chill a bit.
Yeah.
He's a small guard. He doesn't have to play that long, okay? But, I mean, it's clear that Maxey's kind of taking the reins of the team.
Oh, for sure.
He's the alpha. He's taking 9 more shots a game than Embiid is right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think the other thing you add to that, talking about running them into the ground, they just got Jared McCain back.
Yep.
Quentin Grimes has been excellent.
Dude, Kelly Oubre, man.
Kelly Oubre is
yeah.
starting, but he's also playing really well.
Yeah.
So the point being is, like, they do have the personnel to take some of, to pump the brakes a little bit on his minutes. I mean, the ceiling obviously is all about Joel Embiid and Paul George. Even without those two guys, they're clearly showing that they got enough pop. So I think, to me, they're clearly for real. They're a top 6 team, but what's their ceiling? It completely depends on the two unhealthy guys. And,
what a tank job by Philly last year.
Yeah.
You have like the most dynamic young backcourt in the East, arguably.
I mean,
DJ and
Edgecombe
Maxey.
is like he goes after it, man.
We were team Edgecombe,
He's
man.
like, I'm swatting guys at the rim. I'm trying to
remember
yam on everybody.
When we were at Moe's for the tourney in that first game, we were tantalized by
all up
Edgecombe.
on him.
Well,
man.
the shocker is the volume of 3-pointers he's taking and the rate he's hitting them.
Yep.
That was not projected.
Probably not sustainable.
That was not projected by anyone. And that's the difference.
No
The
fear.
fact that he can shoot, that changes everything about his projections.
But also, to your point, bringing in McCain back. McCain was awesome last year.
I know.
And if PG can give you, okay, I know PG, he's kind of washed, but I mean, if you look at his stats from last year, they're not as bad as
they're
you
not bad.
think.
They're not bad.
But eye test is like, this guy isn't.
They're just
near
not
the player he
relative
used
to
be.
someone making that much
That's
money.
exactly.
That's
When I look at this team, I go to maybe Avon Barksdale's best quote. When talking about Stringer Bell, what I see is a man without a country.
Yep.
Not hard enough for these streets, not smart enough. And that's what I see with Embiid, Paul George, Edgecombe, Maxey.
Yeah.
Pick a direction. What are you?
Well,
because
Easier
you
said than
can't
done.
pick a
I know.
direction because Embiid and PG have albatross contracts.
exactly.
You can't move them.
That's why man without a country.
I know, but maybe you're living in this I don't know, this dual team. I don't know what the hell.
timeline.
It's a
Let's
2
go.
timeline team going on, man.
I don't hate it. I actually don't hate it. Like, you don't need to I don't think it needs to be that black and white. Just if Embiid's healthy come playoff time, and I know it's a big if, see what you got. See what you got. I'm not ready to throw all of the eggs into the VJ Maxey basket at this juncture. You love what you see, but try and thread that needle. See what
Okay,
happens.
let's go rapid fire here. We got 3 teams. We'll be real quick. Pistons, Heat, and Magic. So for one, I think Pistons, this is what a lot of people expected. I know some of you guys kind of doubted a bit. They've looked really good so far. And like we said, Ivy coming back, we are in agreement. I think Ivy makes sense coming off the bench. But what the hell is up with your Magic?
I would buy low. I am a stubborn goon.
The
on
Hein
this.
hedge?
I am very stubborn about this. I'm small sample size. I thought the Desmond Bane fit would be cleaner. Hasn't proven to be that way. The defense has not been strong to start the year. Jonathan Isaac seems like he's fallen off a cliff too. I would preach a little patience with the Magic. The Paulo leap hasn't come.
It is not.
You mean the Apollo regression has come.
You mean the other way?
Yeah, I mean the Kurt Goldsberry comp to Josh Smith kind of hurts my soul.
yeah.
I wouldn't go that far.
That's a little crazy.
Josh Smith has had some moments. Remember
Atlanta
that
Hawks
quote? Yeah,
Bane,
exactly.
excellent volleyball spike though off Onyeka Okongwu's head.
dude,
yes,
That was a very
angle.
good one.
They're 3-5 through 8. I'm not ready to sell them down the river. The East is relatively wide open. I would say it's a buy low opportunity. First in the East, they need to go on a run, but we've seen it before.
I said this before the season that your bet on the Magic to finish as 1, it'd be based on Paolo making a leap.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't shoot right now.
No.
You can't hit threes. He's I think second last in terms of pull-up accuracy out of guys who've taken at least 20 this year. That's just not good enough if you're going to try to climb up the ranks of the East, right? So, and also they're second worst in shooting, in 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
Second last in 3-point.
And that was what Bane was supposed to be.
That's
the
just
Magic
not a
Olympics, let's
recipe
call
for
that.
success if you're trying to go anywhere.
Killed them last year, and it must hurt them so much too to see KCP just lighting it up in Memphis. Dude.
so-
Wes, what are any thoughts? Magic, Piston, or Heat?
I mean, the Magic thing is Bane shooting sub 30 can't do that. No. That's the whole reason why he was brought in. I just think it is disjointed. You're adding in a pretty big piece to introduce into an offense that doesn't already have a lot of structure to begin with. So offensively, you always knew that was going to be where they make or break. Defense, not good.
Surprising.
But they'll pick it up. I actually have a lot of confidence in their defense. But the offense, they can't shoot. You can't win in this league.
What's in the water in Orlando? You add
Galveston water.
you add Desmond Bane, and you can't. And now he all of a sudden can't shoot threes. That's literally his thing. That's his MO. It's just small sample size. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
That's all for us. We will be back
Whoa!
next week.
The Heat. Eric Spoelstra, Coach of the Year.
Well, hold on. One thing I'll say about them. and I think the books have already adjusted. But Heat team totals for those like first 5-6, like those guys are that's a track meet.
Bam shooting a lot of threes, man.
Yeah,
a lot of threes.
Completely changed offense. Miami lead the league in pace. That's a huge change in style of play. So definitely
overs.
Yeah,
but the
that's
books
the
have
direction to
adjusted.
go.
Jaime
Jaime Jaquez.
Yeah.
Go find him.
We were talking about when we were at the bar Sunday. We were talking about Jaime, and it's like I don't know.
Don't tell people what we do on
Okay,
Sundays.
one more time. Hambone called it out. Eric Spoelstra.
Coach of the year.
Coach
Yeah,
of the
Coach
he's
of the
like,
year. Never won it.
Spurs will fade. Heat on the
Fab,
rise.
real quick, for real, Fugazi Heat.
Fugazi.
All right, West, same.
Well,
For real.
Raps are better.
Wow. That's all today. We will see you back here next week. Don't forget to catch us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. See you then.